So I've had this new revised Model S for about 3 weeks now. I traded in a 2020 Model 3 Performance in on this car. I hated the old Model S. I didn't like the interior. The seats were uncomfortable. The stereo sucked compared to the Model 3. Dashboard looked old. And the one that I had as a loaner had all kinds of wind noise, which was kind of weird. But when I heard they redesigned the interior, made it more like a Model 3, jumped on board. I didn't know about this yoke thing. I still don't like the yoke. I find that whenever I hit the stereo buttons to change tracks, I'm tapping the signal once in either direction. I know that when you put your hand over this thing, your horn is supposed to go off. Well, whatever. Sometimes I still have to look over for the horn. So here's one of my biggest gripes. On the Model 3, there's a little door lock button here on the screen. You have this huge screen that really doesn't do much. It's got the navigate here. It's got the new UI, which is kind of okay. It's not great. It's got the clock, the time over in the corner there on the top right, right there. And that's all cool and everything, but what do you need all this landscape for? Well, what do you need this giant screen for? The Model 3, just because I'm used to the Model 3, you put all that stuff that's on this left screen on the right screen, and it kind of splits the screen, and it's all cool. But they still managed to put in a button for like a door lock, right? This car, you actually have to hit this button and then hit that to lock and unlock your doors. And then another gripe I have right now, when I use a Tesla wall charger or a supercharger, and you push the button to open your charge port, it works all the time on my Model 3 Performance, does not work at all on this car. And I'm assuming that's a firmware update that has to hit sometime soon. This car was advertised with Sirius satellite radio. It even says on my Moroni, my window sticker, Sirius satellite radio with 3-month trial. I called up Tesla. The first time I called them, they said, "Oh, we're not sure what happened. Your car's supposed to have it, but it looks like you're missing the antenna. There's like something happened in production." They said they'd call me back. They never did. I called back a couple days later. They said, "Oh, no, that's going to be a software update. It's going to be released, or the Sirius XM will be active in a software update." That's a little strange. I don't understand that. It was active in the other car, in the old Model S. Do I have an antenna? Do I not have an antenna? I don't know. That's a question that still needs to be answered. Let's see. The other issue I have is when you want to access your wipers, you do it here, or you tap the wiper button. But to me, that's not very intuitive. It doesn't work all that well. When you tap this area right here, it always sprays water. There's a wiper spray, and I don't really like that. If I just touched it and then the little menu came up, see, I can't. Nothing happens. So it's weird. Maybe I have to be in drive mode or whatever. Maybe that'll work. Let's see, what else is this car missing? Satellite radio, the lock button, suspension is really cool. The auto raise based on location. That's pretty cool. I'm okay with that. Here's the main thing. Here's a big deal. They got rid of creep, and I don't know why. There's acceleration, drag strip mode, shift out of park, and all that, but creep is missing. They've removed creep on the Model S. So it's hold mode only now, whereas the Model 3 has creep and hold, and the S used to have creep and hold as well. So I don't know why they did that. Hopefully, again, that's another software thing. I think it's 22 speaker, almost 1,000-watt stereo system is supposed to have, according to Elon, what is it, like the sound noise cancellation, electronic noise cancellation. He said it was going to be amazing. It's not active. it's it's not active on this car. I don't know why. Again, let me see here. Oops. We go to radio, and you go to settings. You'll see there's balance, there's options, and it's missing the noise cancellation option. So again, that's another thing that needs to be turned on. Kind of like autopilot or full self-driving. I've now paid for it 3 times on my original dual motor Model 3. I had a 2018, and then I traded that in on a 2020 Model 3 Performance, and then now this Model S. And I paid for full self-driving every time. I don't even have the beta. So that's a little weird. I've got about maybe 60, 70,000 miles of autopilot under my belt. So if anyone has a reasonable amount of beta testing opportunity, it would be me, but we'll see what happens. He said it'll probably be released to a wider beta. I don't know if that means 3,000 people as opposed to 1,000. It's getting to be kind of a joke, but I keep adding it anyways. I don't even use nav on autopilot. I just get it because I don't want to deal with it later. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this new Model S so far. So far, I love it. The car is super quiet. Even without the noise cancellation, super quiet. The air suspension is amazing compared to the Model 3. The Model 3 did not have door seals, so you're always getting dust in the door jambs. This car has door seal. In fact, the quality of construction on this car is nothing short of amazing. My wife had several S-classes. We've had 7 Series. I had a Maserati Quattroporte. I've had Porsches. I've had all kinds of cars. Nothing compares to the actual construction quality of this car. Like if you go under the dash, I had to try to hardwire my radar detector. You can see it's dangling right here. I could not because if you try to go under the dash, there's not one single open seam or pathway where you can tuck a cord. It is done so well. It's carpeted from the floor all the way to the bottom of the dash, and there is no seam. You can't even tuck anything in there. So props to Tesla, super good build quality. So far my door gaps are great. I don't have any rattles. I don't have any shakes. I mean, the car is perfect outside of, things that are kind of done weird. It's got this beautiful Alcantara headliner throughout. One of my gripes, I guess, is the stupid moonroof thing. You can't see it right now, but the moonroof thing. It's not a moonroof, it doesn't open. It's just a giant glass panel, and it's really kind of too dark to see out of during the day. It doesn't really bring much light into the car. I'm not sure what the purpose of it is. Normally I don't use my sunroofs or my moonroofs anyways. It would be nice if it had a panel that closed, or if it had some kind of a means of covering it up. I know Tesla sells like a big panel. I just bought that or ordered it. So we'll see how that works. It says it cuts 2/3 of the heat, which is all I want. I've gone to 4 tint shops. Nobody will tint the roof of this car. I had a hard time getting the Model 3 back window done because the Model 3 has kind of a moonroof panel and then a break in the middle right where the driver's and passenger seats are, and then it's glass all the way back to the bottom of the hatch, or the back of the window, and that was tough. They said it takes a lot of curvature, a lot of stretch to try to get that done in one piece, but places can and will do that. This car, they won't touch. They said no way. They said they have to seam it, and some guy said they had to seam it down the middle, they had to seam it down the thing, and they can't seam it because there's no defroster line. So it's a curved arc, and it's almost impossible just to overlap 2 pieces of tint, take a sharp knife, and then run it straight across. I'm sure they're concerned about quality of the final product, but I would be fine with the seam, but they don't even want to do it because they said it'd be like a jagged line. It would be like a crooked line. They have no means of doing it. And all 4 tint people said the same thing. So maybe, once the car gets out there, there's a few thousand of them out there, maybe they'll figure out a way to do it. Clear bra has been an issue. There is no pattern for this car yet. So, we'll see what happens with that. I ordered it from a company. The company said it was a Expel something, the higher end XPEL, and they said that yes, they have a template, but they're still ironing out the kinks for the parking sensors and the tow hook cover. And so they asked me if I would be okay with them deleting those cutouts so I can just cut it with a X-Acto knife on my own. I said, yeah, I would prefer that, because if you've ever done clear bra, it's hard to line up every single bumper parking sensor, because when you put them on, even if it's a pre-cut piece, you have to do a little bit of stretching to get it on properly. And then so a couple of those parking sensors will inevitably become askew, so it just doesn't look clean. So it's easier if you just have one solid piece and you can just cut the little sensors out. So if I think of anything new, I will post another video, but for now, this is it. I think I was the third person to pick up this car out of Burbank. They told me the day before, or 2 days before, Jay had picked up his Model S, and mine was the one after that. So that was kind of neat. I think Jay got a blue one. So, and I had the pleasure of meeting Jay one time by his garage where he has all of his cars. He was driving his little, I think it's called a Rocket. It's like a one-seater, looks like a mini Indy car with open wheel, like a little Indy car looking thing. It's pretty cool. Seems like a nice guy. I waved to him and said, "Hey Jay," and he was kind enough to wave back. But anyways, me and my dog are headed over to my office. Oscar, say goodbye. Bye. There you go. There's my boy. All right. See you guys.